G'day guys and welcome to Aussie English. My objective here is to teach you guys the English spoken down under. So whether you want to speak like a fair dinkum Aussie or you just want to understand what the flippin' hell we're on about when we're having a yarn, you've come to the right place. So sit back, grab a cuppa and enjoy Aussie English. So, I wanted to run through a few, nicer ways of calling someone an idiot without you having looked at them first, John.
Yep, sorry.
And I was going to say to you first, off the top of your head, what are some polite ways that you would call someone an idiot? So, G-rated, things that I can actually publish as clean, non-explicit language.
Drongo's always up there.
Drongo. Yeah, that's one I hadn't thought about.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yep.
What else you got?
How would you use drongo in a sentence?
It's kind of like what a drongo. I don't know what a drongo is, but it's. I would definitely know a few people that would meet the description when I see them. Yeah. I think I always get called a duffer, but I think someone told me that was Scottish. But you ever been called a duffer? Yeah.
Yeah, quite a bit. I mean, they don't have to be words that are necessarily just Australian, because I'm sure we have a lot of overlap, especially with England.
Yeah. Yeah, wanker, I guess, is that G-rated? That's getting towards the M. Yeah, what else?
I think you've already mentioned at least two that I haven't... Yeah, maybe even three that I hadn't mentioned in the...
Half of them are just masturbating and stuff, like tosser. That's or a tool. Is that Australian? I think that's Australian. Yeah.
Alright, you've actually come up with a whole heap I hadn't thought about.
Rich tapestry I've got, man. Don't you worry.
So how would you use those in sentences?
You're a tool. You're a tool bag, if you want to... Yeah.
And what does that mean? In your mind, literally and figuratively. And is it something that you would use quite a bit, or is that just one that you hear a lot and wouldn't use?
Yeah, I think it's like tools. You've carved out a niche with tool. Tool is like a specific sort of. It's not someone who's necessarily an idiot. Just someone who's tool is someone who acts inappropriately. Even if they're smart, you can still be a tool.
And it's making specific reference to a tool, right, that you would use to fix something. I mean, not a direct link to that, but that's where it comes from. You're a tool, mate. Like you're a,
I guess.
A brute object that's dull and...
You're a spanner. Complete spanner, mate. Yeah. Yeah. What else? Yeah. I think that's all I've got.
Yep.
Just like, if you're asking me to keep it G, I think that's all I've got.
Yeah. No, I was just curious. I can run you through some of these words and you can tell me what you think and if you use them.
I will.
Alright, well, obviously the first one's idiot, so everyone uses that.
Yeah.
Moron?
Yeah.
That's pretty Australian, isn't it?
I didn't think it was, but it's hard, because you just use them so...
frequently.
Yeah. And you just think, you don't really associate it with being unique. You just think everyone uses moron.
Yep.
But I guess you don't really see that in TV shows, American TV shows anyway, so...
Yeah, I think that could be one of those words that's very, very Australian / maybe English. I don't know if the English use it that much, but I definitely know it's not American because I've had to explain that word to so many Americans, and they'd be like, what? Yeah. A moron?
Yeah.
Whereas I hear that all the time, that's the kind of word that someone will yell out of a car, if you cut them off. They're like, yeah, effing moron.
Get out of the way, moron! Yeah, definitely.
What about numpty?
Not numpty, yeah. Yeah, numpty. I think that's when you're driving with you and you got kids in the car, I think you reach for a numpty. It's very safe. Yeah.
Which means idiot, but it's not. If you tried to call someone a numpty, right, in a nasty way, they would just look at you and laugh, right?
Yeah. No, numpty's like kind of the opposite of tool. Tool is like someone who's actions are kind of like inappropriate, but numpty's like you cannot do anything right. You're an idiot. Yeah.
But it's funny too, isn't it, how like tool is very negative and easy to take offense to if someone called you a tool, but if someone called you a numpty, I guess how they do it depends on how they do it, but at the same time I would almost be laughing if someone just used that word.
I think it just
whereas
means,
tool would make me actually offended.
I think you're messing something up when you get called a numpty.
Yeah. What about dipstick?
Dipstick. Yeah. Let's go on dipstick. Yeah. When do we use dipstick? I think it's. Did they even come from dipshit? Because I feel like they're interchangeable, aren't they?
Keep it G-rated.
Keep it G-rated.
I think it came from like a dipstick in the car. That's my at least understanding of it. And what I use to explain it is that it's a dirty, gross object that is just, you associate that with a person. You make them feel like.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's. I think it came from the M-rated one, and people have just been using it to switch. You know how people, oh shoot, it's like, oh you dipstick.
It's the easier, nicer way of saying that. Yeah, true.
But I don't know.
What about twit and twat? Would you ever use those?
Yeah, big fan of the twat. Twit, not so much because it's PG, but twat, like you're flirting with controversy there.
I guess that one depends how you use it. It can refer to something a little south of the border with regards to women genitalia, but at the same time, that's not the first thing that comes into mind. If you call someone a twat.
I think the Brits call it twat.
Yeah, I know, it's funny, the pronunciation changes. What about doofus?
Doofus. I think that's definitely American, that one.
Yeah.
Doofus. I think, when I was younger.
That Aussie version of that is drongo, I feel. Like, that's the equivalent.
Yeah.
the D word for...
Yeah.
On equivalent level of sort of humorous
and you can throw insult. It at someone. Yeah, drongo, doofus. And it rolls.
I like to, I didn't notice beforehand, but we have a few words for like... relating to brain and skull that mean you're stupid, like numbskull.
Yeah.
And airhead.
Yep.
And it's funny how we have those. Galah? Have you ever heard galah used? I found this one. I can't remember if I found this one on the internet, but I saw it and was like, oh, it's something I have definitely heard, but I would never use and would never occur to me.
I think it's kind of relates to the noise.
Yeah.
Like
that galahs make.
Yeah. Like they're a loud, obnoxious sort of animal, aren't they? And like I think if you get called a galah, you're a bit obnoxious.
I feel like I've heard your pack of galahs or a flock of galahs. They were laughing like a
drain.
So it's like really annoying, loud people. What about you'd know bogan. You'd use bogan. That's not really that encompasses so much more than just idiot, right?
They are my people. I'm descended from a long line of bogan. But I think people are like. People always like, oh, it's a redneck. It's not though. There's a big difference.
That's it. Because when trying to explain a bogan, one, how would you explain it, and two, how does it differ from? I guess the way you would explain it to American is like it's a redneck, but it's not just a country person.
Yeah.
So how would you explain what a bogan is?
Yeah, I think redneck would be really close, but I think with redneck, like it encompasses like a philosophy. Like, I think in order for you to be a redneck, I think you've got a little bit of a racist attitude, whereas bogans aren't necessarily racist, but I think there are a lot of racist bogans,
It's just a side product.
Yeah. It's just like, you got the twang, you've got the, you got the uncivilized sort of, I got the drawl. I think that's what makes me a bogan. Like, I mumble a lot, and people, you don't exactly articulate your words.
So you think there's actually kind of like multiple facets to being what Australians would call a bogan, and if you have any one of them, you can be considered a bogan? Because for me, I always thought that you have to have a whole bunch of these things to be one, and just having one thing, like say swearing a lot doesn't necessarily make you a bogan, but you appear more like a bogan if you do that.
Yeah. It's when like the chav,
the English version.
Yeah, like it's swearing is definitely because you lack the graces of, and I guess that's you got to go to the other
political correctness or social awareness, where you just like I can't act this way in public, but they tend to act very uncouth and rude. Like
I swear to my boss, I like dropped the C-bomb in front of him, and he was just like, yeah. And but
what did he say? You freaking bogan?
No, there was just a pause. I was just like, oh yeah, I totally can't drop the C-bomb in front of my associate professor boss. Yeah. But I do. And sinking tinnies, like
people who drink in public.
Yeah, I think there's but not even that. Like, I mean, I think there's a lot of tradies, that are like, I think that's tradesmen that are bogans, but I think they're not. It's not necessarily alcoholics because they're not drunk while they're working, but I think
it's a pastime of bogans,
and they take pride in that, like which is what I do as well. I love. And talking about smashing darts.
Smashing darts?
Yeah.
What? Even I have to verify really? That one. Is that...
Smoking ciggies, bruh.
Ah.
Yeah, smoking the cigarettes.
Smashing
darts. You never heard
That's
that
a new one. I haven't heard that
Phil
one
always
before.
smashes darts.
Smashing darts.
Yeah.
Okay, what about dill?
Dill, yeah.
That's very Aussie.
Yeah. Is it a pickle? A dill pickle?
I have no idea where it originally comes from, but it was the kind of thing my parents would always call me when I was a kid.
Called me that, yeah.
That's one of those words that you would use on a child.
You called me a dill and I called me a duffer.
Yeah.
They were the two ones you always called me.
What about dag? That's one that's Aussie to the bone, right?
That's got to be a sheep dag as well. So
yeah, I've mentioned that a few times. It's so hard to explain, and every time I tell someone and they're like, hey, what does that word mean? And I'm like, oh, here we go. They're going to get offended. But it's not... It's so weird that it originates from something that's so gross.
Yeah.
The dag, like a lock of hair that hangs off the backside of a sheep that has poo entangled into it. Like a dreadlock.
It's like a dreadlock, I was going to say, yeah.
But at the same time, you would never use that word in a negative way. Well, not a negative way, but like it's kind of endearing, right?
Yeah, and it means like you're uncool. I think is what, I think all the other ones are like euphemisms for, well, not even euphemisms, but, they're synonyms for being an idiot, whereas a dag is just like a synonym for being uncool and, Dero. What about that one, by the way, now that you got me, Dero.
Yeah.
Derelict. Yeah.
How would you use that, Dero, then?
Oh, you're such a Dero, mate. You're such a Dero.
That's kind of a bogan, right?
Yeah, but I think a bogan, like I said, a bogan's sort of like the cultural sort of, you can just be swearing and like have no idea about like, swearing in the library or whatever, but a Dero is like someone who's negatively, like drinking in a library is a Dero thing.
And because what does derelict literally mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't it mean like if your house is derelict, it means it's, no one lives there and it's broken down and...
Yeah, unmaintained is probably a good way to describe that.
Unmaintained. Yes, if you apply that to a person. They're an unmaintained person.
It's not my first time being called a Dero. I don't mind the same.
And dimwit. There's another one related to heads.
Not very bright.
Yeah. He's dim.
Very dim. Yeah.
That's it. That's true. It's the opposite of bright. Right. I don't know. So that's the list that I sort of had. You added probably about 5 or 6, I think. There. Jeez. We've got heaps.
I've got some slows in there, man. Don't worry. I'll have to think of some others, but yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I can't wait to get some feedback about your accent too, because there were a few people that were like, you need to get some Australians with a stronger accent, and I was like, John's perfect.
Man, you should have got me when I sunk some tinnies, had some froffies. I would have.
Maybe we'll have to have an episode where it's like drunk with John.
It'll be. You'll aim for 10 minutes, and it'll just be going for like 40 minutes or something.
It's alright. I'll edit it down, and there'll be about 5 minutes worth of good stuff in there.
Like 2 minutes of mumbling, and then how's it going?
I'll leave it there.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, man.